Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well and studying well. So children, do you remember all the grammar concepts that you've learnt in your previous classes? Great, because अब हम उन्हें और detail में सीखने वाले. Okay, so that is why our basic concepts have to be clear. Okay, because when our basics are cleared, then to get to learn new concept, it becomes easy for us to absorb the knowledge and grasp it also. All right, so let's look at our next chapter, which is called verbs. Okay, we've already known what verbs are. They are action words or being words, right? So let's look at this. So hello kids, a verb is a word which we use to express an action, an event, a state of being or possession. Alright, so a verb may express 1. What a person or thing does. Okay, for example, a monkey lives on a tree. Girls love dancing. So they are like expressing, they are just telling us, okay, what a person is doing or a thing is doing. Okay. Second is what a person or thing has. Alright. The boy has a ball. Elephants have trunks. Right. Next one is what a person or thing is. The boy is happy. Lions are dangerous animals. ओके तो यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि यहाँ पे क्या क्या एक्सप्रेस हुआ है. एक तो इवेंट मतलब एक्शन एक्सप्रेस हुई है. सेकेंड इज अबाउट व्हाट द पर्सन और थिंग हैज पोजेशन. ओके एंड देन व्हाट अ पर्सन और थिंग इज. ओके ऑफ द क्वालिटी ऑफ द पर्सन और द स्टेट ऑफ बीइंग ऑफ अ पर्सन. ओके सो नाउ let's look at the different kinds of verbs. Okay, according to their function, verbs are of the following kinds: transitive and intransitive verb, finite and non-finite verbs, and auxiliary and modal verbs. चलो अब एक एक करके हम लोग सीखते हैं उनके बारे में. Okay, first is transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, transitive verbs are those verbs which have objects after them. Okay, so these verbs denote an action that passes over from the doer or subject to the object. For example, he broke the chair. So broke is the verb जिसके बाद वो object आता है chair. I wrote a letter. Wrote is the verb and letter is the object. Clear? Intransitive verbs, they do not require an object to complete their sense. Okay, they express an action that does not go beyond the doer. For example, the child slept soundly. We swim in the pond. So, यहाँ पे जो है it is making complete sense. Okay, and they are expressing the action. Okay, and it does not require another help of any other object to express that. All right. So now, a transitive verb may have two objects: direct object and indirect object. Alright, so direct and indirect object क्या होते हैं? Let's look at that. Most transitive verbs have a single object, but some transitive verbs like give, ask, offer, promise, tell, etc., they take two objects after them. A direct object is usually the name of a thing. Okay, lifeless object. And an indirect object denotes the person to whom something is given or for whom something is done. मतलब direct object क्या होता है? It is usually a name of a thing. किसी चीज़ का नाम होता है. और indirect object जो होता है वो it talks about the person to whom something is given. किसी को कोई चीज़ दी होगी उसके बारे में, या for if you have done something for someone, okay, for whom something is done, okay, then that becomes an indirect object. Let's look at the example. Her father gave her, now her is an indirect object, a gift which is a direct object. Okay, because gift is a thing and her, okay, it denotes the person to whom something is given. Clear? He told me. अब me क्या होता है इसमें? Indirect object. Okay, a story. Story क्या है? Direct object. It's a thing, okay, which has been told. Grandmother told a story Okay, now story is a direct object to the children. Okay, to someone. Who are those someone? They are the children. So they become the indirect object. Clear? चलो अब देखते हैं how to use these transitive and intransitive verbs. So let's look at the transitive and intransitive use of verbs. Most verbs can be used both as transitive and as intransitive verbs. It is therefore better to say that a verb is used transitively or intransitively rather than saying it is transitive or intransitive. Some of the, let's look at the examples first. So, used transitively. Okay, let's look at something that is used transitively and used intransitively. Okay, the boys fly kites. Birds fly in the sky. The army fought the enemy. The army fought bravely. The girls sang a song. The girl sang melodiously. Okay, the driver stopped the car. The car stopped suddenly. So some verbs like come, go, fall, die, sleep, lie, etc. They denote actions which cannot be passed to anything or done to anything. So such verbs can never be used transitively. Okay. So come, go, fall, die, sleep, lie ऐसे सारे words हम लोग transitive में use नहीं कर सकते. Okay. So let's be smart, and to become smart we have to do the exercises. Okay. Underline the verbs in these sentences and write T for transitive and I for intransitive. Also name the object if the verb is transitive. Okay. I looked down from my window. Okay. तो यहाँ पे object क्या है? Window. Okay. And looked is the verb. Alright. I shall bring my camera with me. Bring camera. Okay. So this is again a, what is it? It is a transitive one because it needs an object to make sense. Okay. Now let's do the remaining by yourself. Okay. No, so you're going to do the remaining ones so that you understand this concept better. So before you do that, always read the text and the explanation one more time so that you don't make mistakes while attempting the questions. Okay. Now let's look at the next type of verbs which are called the finite and non-finite verbs. A verb that has a subject and exhibits tense and number in a sentence is called a finite verb. For example, I write, Varun laughs, they played. So यहाँ पे आप देखोगे finite verbs are governed or limited by the number and person of their subject. Okay. So I write, Varun laughs, and they played. For example, the boy flies a kite. The boys fly kite. I am eating an apple. They are eating apples. So a verb that neither has a subject. Okay, जिस verb में subject नहीं है और कोई भी tense नहीं है, nor exhibits tense and numbers in a sentence is called a non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs do not change their form according to the person and number of the subject. Okay, so he likes to eat mangoes. So यहाँ पे आप देखोगे they like to eat mangoes. यहाँ पे कोई changes हुए हैं नहीं. Okay, except for he likes का हो गया है they like. So it has taken, singular has taken a singular verb and plural has taken a plural verb. Alright. I saw him playing in the garden. We saw him playing in the garden. So in the above sentences, to eat and playing, they are non-finite verbs. The word likes and saw are finite verbs. Okay. Non-finite verbs may be used as the subject, object or complement of another verb. For example, to work is worship. Eating sweets spoils teeth. He wanted to play. I like TV watching. So यहाँ पे आपने देखा यहाँ पे subject का use हुआ है. They can be used as subject. They can be used as an object okay, or a complement of one another, okay, of another verb. अब देखते हैं auxiliary and modal verbs. Auxiliary verbs or auxiliaries help in making tenses, passive forms, questions and negatives. So, they are also called helping verbs. जैसे be verbs. Is, am, are, was, were. Have verbs. Has, have, had. Do verbs. Do, does, did. Okay, let's look at the examples. I am writing a letter. She is eating a mango. Crops are grown by farmers. Are you going to school? We have finished our lunch. He does not learn his lesson. Okay, now what are modals? Okay, modals or modal verbs have been discussed separately. Okay, we are going to learn this separately. There's a separate chapter on modals. Okay, so we'll learn when we go to that chapter. Alright, so now let's do this exercise. Use the following verbs in sentences of your own, both transitive and intransitively. Okay, so play. So play का हमें करना है using transitive and intransitive. Okay, the boys are playing in the garden. Okay, this is used transitively. और इसका intransitive होगा boys play in the garden. Clear? Okay. Now next one. Next one, what does it say? Open. Okay. So let's look at how we are going to use them transitively. Okay. The girl opened a pack of chocolate. Okay. इसका intransitive होगा the girl opened a pack of chocolate happily. Okay. Right? Now you have to do the remaining ones. So complete the following sentences with suitable verbs from the box. Okay. अभी help box से आपको choose करके उसमें लिखना है. Mother dash food to the guests. So mother served food to the guests. You always serve food. Okay. She was dash in Mumbai. She was born in Mumbai. Okay. Honesty is the best policy. Alright. So जल्दी बाकी sentences अपने आप clear करना है. Okay. Pick out the verb from each sentence and write whether it is transitive, intransitive or auxiliary. Mr. Verma taught us science. Okay. तो यहाँ से verb क्या होता है? Taught. Taught is the action. Okay. So Mr. Verma taught us science. So taught is the verb. Okay. और ये हो जाता है transitive because it's using science. Okay. The old man walks slowly. So walks is the verb and it is what type? Intransitive. There is no object after that. Alright? Clear? So now quickly do the remaining ones by yourself. Alright? And do reread this chapter before attempting these exercises. It's very important to remember the concept at all times. Alright children? So get going.